everybody, welcome back to another video here on my channel. I'm Rosie from Rosie Studio, and today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. As you can see here, I just have my sketchbook and my little pencil pouch case, whatever you want to call it, right here, because as many of you guys already know, I do a lot of gouache paintings, but I really have like two different styles that I often will do for art, which is I'll either make a gouache painting like sunsets and landscapes, or I will do hand lettering. In this video today, I'm going to be demonstrating or teaching you guys how I do my hand lettering. So that's going to be super fun. I don't know yet what quote I'm going to do, but it will probably be something really simple. So the supplies I'll be using today is just my sketchbook that I got from Michael's, and then I have my little pencil pouch over here, which do not ask me what all different like things are in here, because like look, like there are so many different brands and the styles of pens and markers and everything in there, so we are not going to be discussing that. I will leave a list though down in the description of all the supplies I used in this video. So let's get right into it. So as you can see already, like I do gouache paintings or hand lettering. Wow, what a shock. See? Really simple stuff. So you're just gonna open up your sketchbook to a blank page here, and yeah, you're just gonna grab whatever pen you want. Usually I will just use a black ink pen right from the start, and then if I want to add color or shading or whatever, I'll add that in afterwards. Here we go. This is like one of those like fine line pens from Five Below, actually, which is pretty cool. They actually work really well. So if you don't want to invest a whole bunch of money in microns, just go to Five Below. They literally work the same. So the quote that I'm going to be making today, I think I'm just going to go with "Life is better when you're dancing," which I think I actually already made that quote in the sketchbook. But oh well, we're going to make it on a broader scale. Next, you're just going to want to think through like what kind of style of letters you want to use. You want to use lowercase, uppercase? Do you want to do like calligraphy style? Do you want to do like bolder, thicker lettering? Usually I will actually combine two of my favorite like fonts or styles to combine is uppercase letters and calligraphy. So that is really the style I use the most with my hand lettering, which you'll see that all through my art, through the years I've been hand lettering. So definitely you want to think through that before you start, and then you also want to think about where the placement is going to go, right? So I'm going to do "Life is better when you're dancing," so I'm going to probably do a little bit more of like a, it's not all gonna be like perfectly lined up on this page, so probably be like life. I'm going to do that up here. I think I'll do that in calligraphy style, and then I'm going to do "is better when." No, that's not what I'm going to do. See, this is why you have to think this out, otherwise it's not going to go good when you like if you just wing it. So I'm going to do "Life is better when you're," and I'm going to do "dancing" in calligraphy. So calligraphy, the calligraphy lettering is going to kind of like frame or like box in like that uppercase blockier letters in the middles. You're gonna want it to flow well, otherwise it's not gonna look cool. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna want to look at it if it doesn't flow well. So I'm gonna start doing this, and while I'm doing this, I'm actually just gonna tell you guys a little bit about how I got started doing art and how I got into it. So I actually started like hand lettering when I was, oh man, I don't even know, like really young, probably like 10 maybe. I was really little, so it's been just about 10 years now that I've been doing this. So it's been a really, really long time. But painting, I've only been doing that since I was like 13, I think. So that's only been like 7 years. So I haven't really been painting all that long. But I have been hand lettering for a really, really long time. Definitely, obviously hand lettering is one of my favorite things to do still. It's my go-to. It's my go-to when I'm bored, or if I just need a little warm up before I do like an actual sketch of something. So yeah, I've been doing art since I was about 10. I've always been into art, but when I was like really younger, you know, I just like colored or whatever. I didn't take like seriously, which yeah, I don't really know how serious you can take art when you're like 6 years old, but yeah, so I've been doing it for a while. But when I was 13, I really got into it, and I started painting with old dry acrylic paints, actually, that my grandma gave me, or that I found in her house, and she's like, yeah, you can just keep them. And so they're actually in my desk for like a year until I actually whipped them out. And they're like these old, like those old acrylic paints that like stink like crazy, because they've been sitting around for years, and they're kind of dry and like chunky and stuff. So one day I found them in my desk, and I was like, hey, I should try painting, you know, because whatever, I haven't painted in a really long time. And so I took them out, I grabbed some old paintbrushes that my mom had, and I just grabbed like a piece of like printer paper, I think. Like at that point I didn't have like 50 sketchbooks like I do now, because I'm obsessed with sketchbooks. I grabbed some paint and some paintbrushes and some water, started painting. Obviously, not all of the paints worked because they were very old, but I just tried and learned by trial and error. I never really had somebody teach me how to use acrylic paint. I definitely had like classes, like art classes, but they were never like, here are techniques of how to use paint or whatever. It was more just like, here's your assignment, go make it. And then yeah, it was never like teaching you techniques, but I had fun with art classes. But yeah, so pretty much with acrylic paint, I just learned by trial and error, and then I got into watercolors more. I used an old watercolor palette that I actually still have. I don't use it anymore, but it was my mom's. And then I started investing into some good art supplies, like better watercolors, better acrylic, better paintbrushes, obviously watercolor paper, sketchbooks, and then I started really, you know, taking it more seriously, because then when I was 14, like art was like my way of, how do I put this, de-stressing pretty much. So I did a lot of art to de-stress from my life, because at that point I didn't have a phone like I do now, so I couldn't just like, you know, just de-socialize from the world on my phone. So I would do art. So I really started exploring different mediums like oils, which I hate to use. I still hate to use oils. I used colored pencils, and then I tried like ink sketching. And then obviously through all that, I still did a lot of hand lettering. I never really stopped doing that. And so that's how I really got into it. Once I got a phone, I started doing Instagram. And then I, you know, posted on there. Didn't really ever take off, but it was just for fun pretty much. And then the past like year is when I started actually really wanting to do YouTube. And then that's how this started. So that's why I'm doing this now. But yeah, I've been doing it for a while and I love it. I do it every day. At least I try to. Some days, you know, it's a little harder to do it every day, but I try to do it as much as I can. And then of course I'm always filming, making art, and yeah. So it's been awesome. It's been great. Definitely a learning experience. I didn't really have anybody to teach me. It's not like I started doing art and just like learned off of YouTube videos or whatever. Because like I said, I didn't have a phone, so I just learned by trial and error. So we're gonna pause the story a little bit and we are gonna now think. So obviously, as you can see, I did the calligraphy style letters here, and then thicker blockier letters here in the middle. Obviously it looks very plain right now because we are gonna add some color, so don't freak out. That looks very plain. Calligraphy lettering, if you're ever wondering like how to make it look like calligraphy, when you're writing it cursive, which I'm very sad. I learned recently that cursive is not something that like schools teach anymore. So if you are young and you are watching this video and you want to do hand lettering in the future, please learn cursive. Like watch a YouTube video, beg somebody who learns cursive or learned cursive, please beg them to teach you. Because it is, like, in my personal opinion, one of the most beautiful styles of hand lettering that you can make is like the calligraphy style. And you need to learn how to do cursive for that. So when you make how to make it look like calligraphy, you just add thicker pen lines on the lines of the letters that go down. So like when, I know that doesn't really make any sense, but say I'm drawing the lettering right now, so I go up here and then I go down. So right here, like if you're actually doing actual calligraphy, in calligraphy, you have like a certain, like a type of pen. You like take the pen and you keep it very thin, like the nib of the pen very thin when the lettering goes up, when the lines go up in the letters. And then when you go down with the line, you actually like push down the nib and it actually makes the line thick when you go down. So that's why when you want to, like, if you want to make your letters look like calligraphy, just normal, like draw them out, normal cursive letters, and then just add thicker lines on all the lines that would go down, like in calligraphy, where they would press that nib down to make it thicker. That is the only way I know how to explain it. I know it's really confusing, but that's how I learned, so that's how I'm teaching you. So then down here, obviously I just made normal letters. So now we're gonna think about how we're gonna do color. This is like a pink and I'm just gonna add little dots all over the place because I think that will look cute. So back to the story. So I started YouTube, and the reason I started YouTube was really to just not really showcase my art because I want my art everywhere. It was to just be, first off, a safe place, especially for kids, if they want to learn art, because I know a lot of artists out there, they either, I don't know, a lot of artists now, I see a lot of people getting into like drawing nudes, into drawing really horrific scenes and just like crazy stuff, and I do not draw any of that sort of style of art. So this is first and foremost a safe place for younger children if they ever want to learn how to paint or sketch or whatever. Also, I'm teaching you guys that doesn't need to be perfect, because my art is not the best art out there, obviously, right? I haven't been doing this for 20 or 30 years like professionals have been. So really just, we're all just learning and messing up and just learning from our mistakes, and I think that's really cool. So that's what my channel is here for, and that is what I am hoping to use it for, is just to give you guys hope that you can start from anywhere. Like if I show you guys pictures of my art that I made from the very beginning, which I really should. I have all the pieces that I made at the very beginning of doing art because I wanted to like keep that memory, to be able to look back and be like, wow, yep, I definitely got better at art than when I first started. So I should totally do a video and show you guys like what my art looked like back in the day, because it was bad. When I tell you it was not that great. Like if you think my art is bad now, which I do not think it's bad, so if you do, I apologize that you think that. But it was like I could not draw people to save my life, which I still struggle with drawing people. Back then it was really bad. So definitely comment below if you want me to do like a showcase of all my awful art that I made when I first started painting, like I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that. All right, there it is, you guys. It is done and finished, and I love it. I love the polka dotted look. Definitely not perfect, but I like it. I think it's super cute. So that is it. If you guys loved this video, definitely like it. I would love if you would subscribe and also comment down below what you thought and what you'd like to see in future videos. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!